Hey everyone, this is Rowdy's blog of Animation Bliss, and welcome to my anime discussion series. Today's anime discussion is going to be on how do you feel about Disney making live action versions of their animated movies? For me personally, well, yeah, I've noticed that there's a lot that Disney lately has been putting out a lot of live action films based off of their animated movies, like Maleficent and 101 Dalmatians and Alice in Wonderland. Two of them, well, yeah, two of them are a little different because with Alice in Wonderland, it was more like a continuation of the original story, than rather than a remake in a sense. And with Maleficent, it was more like a backstory about Maleficent as a character. So in those cases, it was a little different, but they were still live action remakes of our favorite animated movies from Disney. So how do I feel about it as a whole? Well, it all really depends on what Disney's making the live action film for. Like if they're going to make a live action film that's going to explore more about the characters, like for example Maleficent, like how they explore more about how Maleficent turned evil, what caused it to be evil, and was she always this evil? I like that. I like the fact that Disney would try to use the live action films to expand more on the stories of the animated movies that didn't really explore the characters very well. Like I noticed with a lot of the older Disney animated films, some of them didn't explore the villains that well. So I was glad Maleficent was one of the first step with Disney and exploring the backstory of a villain. So that's one of those times I like it when Disney makes a live action film of their animated movies, based on whether or not they can expand more on that character. I would like to see more of that, and I definitely would like to see like the evil queen from Snow White get her own movie that explores more of her backstory. Now there are times where I do have problems with with Disney making live action versions of their own animated movies. Like probably one of the news about the animated movies, the live action films that Disney's going to release is concerning Dumbo. They're thinking about making a live action movie about Dumbo, and I was thinking to myself, well, how is that going to work? Because most of the main characters in Dumbo are animals. So, how are you going to make that work? It's like all the characters are going to have to be CGI in a sense in order to pull this off. But in itself, Dumbo was mostly focused on the animal character. So, why not just make a fully CGI remake of Dumbo instead of making a live action film of Dumbo? Unless their plan was to make it into a human focused adaptation, which I don't know how well or that can go because that could turn out to be the worst thing possible because it would really take away what made Dumbo great in the first place was the animal protagonist. So, if they have human characters in there and the movie starts focusing on them instead of Dumbo and his animal friends, who knows what's going to become of that movie at that point. But we don't really know what Disney's going to do with the Dumbo live action adaptation. We don't know if it's going to be human focused or we don't know if it's going to be like yeah, we're not sure what Disney's going to do with it. So I guess it's one of those wait and see moments with Disney. Um and there's also some problems like with Disney putting it out too much. I feel like lately, ever since Alice in Wonderland and Maleficent did pretty well at the box office, baby, yeah, did pretty well, at least in the movie theaters. I feel like Disney's been making a lot of live action adaptations of the films lately, and I would have to say, Disney shouldn't make too many of those at once because then people are going to start getting tired of them and they're gonna like be like, you know what, Disney, don't make any more live action adaptations of these movies. Just let the movies stay where they are. Which I wouldn't mind if that's what happened. But you know, I think that's gonna be one of the main things Disney's gonna have to be a little concerned about is making too many live action adaptations of their animated films and, overriding the market with that. So we'll have to wait and see how many movies Disney's going to actually put out with the live action movies and how good or bad they're going to be. So that's something I am looking forward to. But overall, for me, it really depends on what story you're going to tell with these live action movies. Are you going to tell more of a backstory from characters that didn't have a lot of good development in the older animated movies? Or are you going to just use it to modernize it too heavily to the point where these characters are unrecognizable? So hopefully that doesn't happen. But again, it's a wait and see situation. So what do you think? Do you like the how do you think about what do you think about Disney making live action adaptations of their anime movies? Do you like it or do you hate it? Please feel free to comment below, and don't forget to like our Facebook page and follow us on Tumblr for any more news. And also, if there's any anime discussions that you wish for us to talk about, please feel free to comment below and we'll see what we can do about it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is your Rowdy's blog of Animation Bliss, and I'll see you later.